pub. We created this pub, it doesn't exist. But for me, what that pub represents is that gathering space where everyone always gathers for different reasons, different ages. All of these people gather to meet their first lover, to gather after a protest, to have a drink, to have dinner. It's that place that no matter what happens in the country, this is a place that still has warmth and life, despite the general asphyxia that the country has. But when the movie starts, Submarine is long the ghost of a place as well. And the reason why I decided on the name Submarine is precisely because of what a submarine represents. Is this place that's under the water, completely drowning, but at the same time that has air. So you're way below the water in a place with no air, but there's this little closed space that has a bit of air. So that's a bit what I was trying to do with that. And for me, the pub within the film represents this only ray of light in a country that's sinking. For me, this person is not ready to let go, and she's a woman going against the current. And by the end of the film, they are all a bunch of lost souls, but together. She's not alone anymore. She's surrounded by people, and because these people have decided that there's nowhere else to go, they're just coming back. So in a way, she got what she wants and she didn't. And what's important is that by the end of this film, they're all a bunch of lost souls, but together, not separated.
استاذ خبرنا لوين رايحين؟ لوين رايحين؟ السؤال الاساسي هو مين بده يستقبلنا؟ مين بده يفتح بوابه لشعب له 3 سنين غرقان بالزباله؟ انا وعائلتي اول واحد على البابور ومش حطلع لورا.
When Hala has her lonely walk in the empty town, she goes from those spaces that people have left, the trash dump and all this, and then there's an internal transition that happens, and suddenly she's walking amongst ruins. And for me, this was also a trip to the past, to a place that she wished had not vanished. Through her walk, we go into her head and into the past. For me, it was very important to have silence be a character in the film because it is a movie that starts in a place where people have just lost hope and feel like they have nothing to say anymore. That's another thing that was very important for me, was to let space speak for itself, and sometimes observing and watching can be more powerful than letting things say what you can see. This movie for me is not a short film, it's a segment, a chapter of something much bigger. The feature film that I have been writing for a year that goes way beyond the story of the short. And it was very important for me to be able to explore the world I was creating, because it's a bit of a creation, this world. So this world, this protagonist, Yumna, the character of Yumna, I wanted to dive into this universe so that I can feel a bit more ready and for the feature.
استاذ خبرنا لوين رايحين؟ لوين رايحين؟ السؤال الاساسي هو مين بده يستقبلنا؟ مين بده يفتح بوابه لشعب له 3 سنين غرقان بالزباله؟ انا وعائلتي اول واحد على البابور.
There's a lot of filmmakers that inspire me on a daily basis, and some of them are my friends and colleagues that read my script, whose scripts I read, who inspire me as human beings and therefore as filmmakers. But in terms of established filmmakers or known filmmakers, I think that the people who have been part of my cinematic library are people like Belatar, Elias Layman, of course, Roy Anderson, Tarkovsky. There's a big problem is that, one of the problems is that, of course, some people have lost hope, and I can't blame them, even though I wish there was more of a collective effort. However, Beirut Madinati gave a lot of hope to a lot of us, and I was I'm one of those people who were extremely inspired by their work, but also by the individuals who were part of this group. Now, one of the problems in Lebanon is that a lot of the people who vote in Beirut don't live in Beirut, and a lot of the people who would like to vote in Beirut cannot vote in Beirut, and I think that contributed a lot to the number of votes being a bit disappointing. That's one of the things, but at the same time, I think that it will take a bit longer to get to a place where someone like Beirut Madinati wins, and I'm very hopeful that it will come, but I think it needs a bit more time than the time they had. And what they did is, for me, one of the most amazing things that our history has seen, and I'm very, very happy that these people and whoever is like them exists.
كان بعض